This is game 1 in a best of 3 series in the blue tournament, with Prussian Prince commanding Royal Scythia and Highamacus of the SITH clan commanding the Ardiaei. So in the blue tournament, Scythia can use infantry, which makes them significantly deadlier. Now the Ardiaei, not a great faction against Scythia. We'll talk a bit more about that later. For the Prussian Prince, we have 5 Thracian warriors. Then we have, looks like we have 5 Scythian Amazonian riders. 1 bronze chevron on some of them. Then we have 2 steppe noble lancers on the flanks. 2 steppe noble lancers behind the Thracian warriors. Scythian royal horse general. Over here we have 3 Scythian noblewomen and 2 steppe noble lancers. For Highamacus and Ardiaei we have 3 Illyrian noble hoplites in the front. Mix of Illyrian hoplites and Illyrian noble hoplites on the flanks. Then he has slave slingers. Horrible slinger units. He has 3 of those. Then he has 2 mercenary peltasts, 3 mercenary axe warriors and 2 Illyrian cavalry. I'm just going to fast forward here because this is going to be a long game. Now these Scythian units have a resistance to the cold that is in effect on this map, which is going to mean that they can move around a lot more than the Ardiaei is going to be able to move around, because the units are going to fatigue more quickly. But I don't really see Highamacus trying to chase down this army. He's basically only got 2 units of Illyrian cavalry, and he's going to play super defensively here. Now what could be interesting is to see how the expert charge defense on the noble hoplites and the Illyrian hoplites work against the charging shock cavalry, because potentially it could mean that the shock cavalry is going to cycle charge itself to death on especially on the noble hoplites, but we'll see. These Thracian warriors are going to be super deadly and super dangerous. The slave slingers are very easy to get off the field, very low morale. It's also going to be super easy for the Prussian Prince to bait their fire like he's doing now. Only 20 missile damage means they're going to have to hit these Amazonians quite a lot to really decimate them. They are taking fire but haven't lost a single woman yet. Prussian moving in on all sides and doing damage. He is being smart and firing at the Illyrian hoplites. It looks like he's going to ignore the slingers for the time being, which is a smart choice. I mean, he could probably just charge and win here, but he wants to weaken the enemy units, of course. Doing damage here, very nice damage with the Scythian Amazonian riders, using heavy shot, and heavy shot on the Amazonians has 110 range, so the Illyrian noble hoplites are dying super quickly to heavy shot. Firing into their unshielded side is going to cause mass casualties, and here we have Ardiaei pushing forward, decided it has had enough of just standing and taking it, and Prussian Prince is going to take full advantage of it, charge all of the squishy bits, meaning the mercenary axe warriors, the Illyrian cavalry, and also getting into the slave slingers. So this is not good for Ardiaei at all, getting split up like this, getting charged all across the map. Super bad for these units. These Scythian Amazonian riders sort of sacrificed to get into the slave slingers, but amazingly they were able to pull out and survive that encounter. That's the problem with Ardiaei in this matchup. They don't have a lot of precursor javelins. So that goes for all the hoplite units. They don't have precursor javelins, so they are not good at all against shock cavalry. A hoplite box is not a strong box at all, even though they have expert charge defense. You can see how quickly the units are starting to lose their men. He's going to spread them out a bit more, but spreading them out like this is also going to mean that it's going to be more susceptible to cavalry charges. Just no response at all for the arrow fire incoming here. Slave slingers are not going to be able to stop this many Amazonian riders and Scythian noblemen. An Illyrian noble hoplite unit already down to 73 men. And this Ardiaei build has just been picked apart by the Amazonians. I quite like that the Prussian Prince is just focusing fire on the infantry units and sort of ignoring the slave slingers, content to bait their fire instead of spending a lot of arrows on them instead of taking down the Illyrian noble hoplites. Axe warriors took quite a lot of damage on the charge from the steppe lancers. And the Illyrian hoplites again taking so much damage from heavy shot. And heavy shot and 110 range is very nice for the Scythian noblewomen and for the Amazonian riders. Very deadly combination. It allows them to get out of javelin range very quickly. And Ardiaei isn't a great faction against steppe factions. Terrible cavalry, terrible skirmishers, no precursor javelins on the low tier units. That is not good for combating the nomad units or the nomad factions. So Scythia is having a field day here and just picking apart the infantry units of Ardiaei. Not much Ardiaei can do about it. The slave slingers are starting to get some kills, mainly because the Prussian Prince has been ignoring them. Looks like he's going to start firing at them now, and they should drop super quickly. Here we go. In a hoplite box like this, there's nothing really stopping the Prussian Prince from just charging in and destroying the slingers. He could easily punch through here with a unit and get at 2 of these slinger units. So Highamacus starting to adopt a more compact formation, but he's just losing so many men each time these Scythian noblewomen rush in. Now they ate volley from the Peltas, and the Peltas have done a lot of damage. If he isn't careful, they're going to get another volley off, and they do, just wrecking these Amazonians. So he's going to turn around and charge the Peltas. Peltas have good armor, so the Amazonians are not really going to be able to damage them much, but these guys are going to be able to damage them. The noble lancers. Then we have Thracian warriors incoming. Let's see how well they're able to do here. They should just wreck these the Illyrian cavalry. I don't really know what that was about with the charges from the Amazonians. Maybe they are out of ammunition. Thracian warriors charging in. They're going to wreck axe warriors on the charge. They're going to wreck Illyrian noble hoplites. They're just going to wreck this entire Ardiaei box. These units cannot stand up to Thracian warriors when they have taken the amount of hit point damage that they have taken in this battle. So I don't see any way this Ardiaei build could work against what the Prussian Prince brought here. It's just doomed from the start. No way to make it work. If you're going to box against nomads, you either need a lot of precursor javelins and cavalry counter tactics, or you need pikes. Hoplites do not work. So the Illyrian noble hoplites, they did not do well at all. Overall, horse archers do well. And then the Thracian warriors just came in and cleaned up whatever was left, but a lot of kills on the slave slingers and the mercenary peltasts actually. But it did work out in the end for the Prussian Prince, just by focusing on the infantry units and then charging in, doing damage both by missile and by charging shock cavalry, and finally finishing up with the Thracian warriors. They got a lot of kills in a very short amount of time, so this was a pretty nice battle. I wouldn't advise to take Ardiaei against a nomad faction, because even though you might think that their high armor hoplites are going to be able to do well against horse archers and shock cavalry, that just isn't the case. It's going to be very easy to fire into their unshielded side, and hoplites do not like getting charged by shock cavalry. So this is a best of 3. First man to reach 2 victories is going to win, so we will potentially have 2 more games in this series. Strength and honor.